We are here in one of the very many water schemes we've done in Anambra State. When this government began, public taps were practically all dry. There was no water anywhere. And the first thing we did was to begin with boreholes. Provided so many of them, but we knew boreholes are not the ideal thing for giving water publicly. And then we scaled up to what we call small town water schemes. This is one of them. In 2009, we did 6 of these water schemes. The Awkuzu one is just one of them. Others are in either Dunukofia, in Agolo, in Nibo, in Nimu, Agolo, Abag, and Enuguku, and the rest of them. And in 2011, we are doing 8 more. I'm sure we'll see the Ozobolo one completed. So this is one of so many water schemes, because we're trying to make sure we have access to clean water, targeting part of our vision that is goal number 7, the environment and access to water. And this one was giving water to Awkuzu-Abba and neighboring areas. If they do it, it's widely reticulated. It's not just here. If you go beyond there again, you see another one giving water to Ukpo and the environment, and another one at Bagana, Enugu. So each water scheme serves either the entire community or at least 2 communities, which is more important than small boreholes located in small areas. So this is the effort in the water sector. So one of very many we're doing.
So you reticulate to the community?
Yeah, it's all reticulated. Of 10 kilometers. 10 kilometers radius.
Precious, what's the name of this place?
Awkuzu.
Awkuzu Water.
Awkuzu, if they do know. There are 2 big communities here. Awkuzu and if they do know. It depends. There are many of them.
Use the microphone.
For the small town, this is the small town water scheme. We have done 6 completed. 8 are ongoing now, and then that's 14. Out of those 8 ongoing, 1 has been completed. And then there are also a number of water schemes in a collaboration with UNICEF and the European Union. The urban water schemes, these ones are mainly rural or semi-urban. The urban water schemes are in Aroma, in Oka, and the big one in Onisha. Those ones, the Aroma one is ongoing. The Onisha one is so big, we were looking for partners until recently when we signed an MOU with a Turkish company. Yeah, a Turkish. Yeah, the first phase is now taking off. And we know if we do everything without getting Onisha and Oka right, our efforts will not be noticed. There are other smaller water schemes in Nnewi. I say a big one in Obize Noga that will serve the entire Agwata and Orumba. At least about 15 communities or so. Is also ongoing. We are waiting for the funding again for support from the European Union. The 9th EDF has ended. The 10th EDF is taking off, and the money from the 10th EDF will also go to support that water scheme. So there are so many of them. I'm not counting smaller ones like boreholes and smaller water schemes. Like right now in the Awkuzu area, there are 30 water schemes, small ones, going on in 30 communities. And then we have a schools water project also, because the governor swore that all secondary schools should have water, particularly girls' schools, so they don't go wandering around looking for water. So practically all girls' schools now in Anambra State have functional water projects. Small ones, not as big as this one, but they're available there and they're working.
Can we take more questions?
Yeah?
Madam, my name is Dennis Emmanuel from Civil Society. Okay, sir. Please, I want to find out, do you have an idea of what it will cost somebody to draw this water to his house, and then how much they pay for water rate? This is just what I want to know. 2 questions in one. How much it will cost for somebody to draw water to the house, and how much they pay for water rate? Thank you.
Honorable Minister, presently we are running these schemes with the intention of running for 6 months in collaboration with the community members, community water consumers associations, and hoping that after the 6 months period, giving water free to the communities, that we hand them over to the community beneficiaries who will now own the schemes, run them and manage them sustainably. So connecting to households will depend on the distance. And it has been reticulated 10 kilometers radius. Yes, 10 kilometers radius and about 16 public samples. So further reticulation to households will depend on the distance. Then the technical people will then cause them and then get the water corporation people to help them to fix them. So that is the situation.
For rural company, I don't think reticulation to households is very, it's not really that. No. I know, like, if you go to like Awka or the big areas, it's commoner. But for villages like this, many have been reticulated, then village squares and public places and along the roads, 10 kilometers radius. It's not very common to reticulate water into households in a village like this. It won't be easy. And we have done much, I think, women need to do here.
Benjamin Ango is the name from civil society. I want to know how many of the villagers have you trained that you are handing over this thing to them? Thank you.
Are we trained?
Yes.
Have we trained? But we are just beginning the 6-month process. This is the process we are taking off now, because we've noticed that quite often when you do project without handing over to communities, they see what happened in Anakwan area, it doesn't work well. Our school water project is going very well because we handed over to the PTA chairman, to the school principal, and we signed on government behalf, and they are working. For these ones, eventually, before we exit here, before the 6 months ends, we're going to make sure the community takes over. And there are WashCom groups in some areas. We've established water consumer associations in some communities. Before we go with these ones, we'll do the same thing before we hand over.
It's important to start the process now.
Well, we've started it.
We don't have structure on ground that is trying to manage this scheme. It will collapse immediately you hand over, because they won't have the technical capacity, the managerial capacity. So you must, as you are starting the 6 months, they ought to be on ground, so that there's the committee sitting side by side with you as you are running it now. But if you are waiting until that time comes, you may not be preparing that.
The Honorable Minister, Abraham Maku and his entourage. I'm the President General of Awkuzu Progressive Union. I want to welcome you and your entourage to Awkuzu for this noble project. I overheard the Prof talking about the possibility of reticulation in the villages. As a matter of fact, I want to call that reticulation is very, very important in this community, because if you just end up this project along the road, like in Awkuzu, if you go along the road, that is where this water has extended up to now. So I want to say that help us the more, so that this thing will get down to the villages. It is not enough if it stops along the road. But even at that, I still want to thank you people, thank you and the entourage for remembering Awkuzu to come and pay us this visit. In addition to that, I want to call on my secretary to Igbo Council. He will want to further extend this vote of thanks on my behalf. Please, just bear with us.
Honorable Minister, my name is Chief Emeko Dwayne, the Secretary Igbo Council. We most welcome you and your entourage to Awkuzu. And for this project, Mr. Peter Obi has been very upright in his and its program, and he's been helpful to Awkuzu and the environs and other communities of our area, and we thank him very much. And in fact, if Obasanjo had succeeded in his third term program the other time, by 2014, Peter Obi would have been heading for his death tenure, because he's the governor that listens and feels the impulse of the people in Anambra State, and particularly Awkuzu has benefited so immensely in his and his program, and we thank him so much on behalf of Awkuzu community. And if they do know, particularly for this water project, we are most obliged to have benefited from his and his program. We welcome you once again and your entourage to Awkuzu. Thank you very much. No, I say if he had succeeded, but because he did not succeed, we hope that when P2B is leaving, somebody that has his alliance heart like P2B will succeed P2B, so that his and his program will continue to move on and on and on, and the number of people will stay enjoying. Thank you very much.
Your Royal Highness, let me mention it again. Democracy is not about going outside the constitution. If we didn't have democracy, we wouldn't know that P2B would be a good governor. So there are many P2Bs outside. It is left for your community leaders and your citizens to make sure that you vote the right person into office. So the people decide who will succeed P2B. So it is our duty to do so. What the president has done to facilitate it is to guarantee free and fair election. That's why Peter could have been elected and re-elected again, because President Jonathan believes in free and fair election without manipulation by anybody. So it is left for the people to take advantage of the president's electoral reform program, which is even more important than the projects we're inspecting now, because that is what will ensure that good people are elected. It's not by money, it's not by connection, it is by the will of God and the popular wishes of the people. That is how the president himself became president. So the president is working on this, and it's important as we go around for people to say that this democracy tour that we're doing is not just to visit projects, but discuss the system that will keep democracy going through leadership selection. And that one is done by you now. So if the governor is doing well, please make sure you elect somebody who will do better than him. Don't elect somebody who will bring money or will manipulate process, but somebody who is good. Our people don't always remember this job. So continue to choose the right people now that the president has made the platform available to you. Thank you very much.